Are you sick of living in the shadow of someone else? Need some help learning to love yourself and tap into your unique strengths, or embrace your leadership potential so you can thrive in your life. This is Empower with Nancy. Let's start the show. Oh.
I want to talk to you about something that I know most of us struggle with, and that is indecisiveness. Yeah, that feeling when you're stuck, spinning your wheels, unsure which way to turn. It can make you feel trapped, right? I know a lot of us, when we feel like we're on the top of the mountain and we feel that we're just completely stuck and there's a decision that you need to make and you just don't know the direction to take. But here's the thing, I'm going to help you break free from that mental fog today. By the end of this episode, you're going to feel like you made a big decision with clarity and confidence for yourself. Now, have a clear mind and the confidence that you will have clarity. Let's start with why you might feel stuck right now. Maybe there's something going on in your life and you just cannot make a decision. And I know sometimes, even for the people that have 100% clarity of exactly what they want, we feel stuck at times and we don't even know how to make the right decision. If you're like most of us, you're afraid to make the wrong decision. I mean, who are really struggling with making the wrong decision? You look at all these options from all kinds of directions, option A, option B, all the way to all these options to option Z, or you're trying to get clarity from people to help you make your decision. And before you know it, you're paralyzed, you feel stuck. So you don't decide at all. And sometimes when we don't make a decision, it really chews at our gut and our minds, and we feel completely worried, the anxiety. But here's the secret, not making a decision is a decision. Let me repeat that again. Not making a decision is a decision. It's choosing to stay exactly where you are. You're not going anywhere. You're not making the change. So you're stay put. You're done. You're not making the decision. And let me ask you, how's that working for you right now? I want you to think about that. How are you feeling right now on a decision that you're having a hard time making? It's staying in limbo, really what you want. You're staying in limbo for what you truly, truly want. It's not a good feeling, and you can change that today. It is up to you. We all have choices to make, and we have the choices that we want to make. So, the first step to beating this indecisiveness is figure out what truly matters to you, not to anyone else, but you. You can't decide between two things until you get real with yourself about what is the core values for you. So I want you to ask yourself, what do I actually want out of this situation? Which option is going to bring me closer to life that you imagined? And what is going to make you feel empowered and fulfilled? Think about those situations. What do you want? And what option is going to bring you closer to the life that you imagine? You know, I mentioned this earlier, how it's important to get clear on what really matters to you. And I get it. Sometimes that feels extremely overwhelming where we can lose sleep. But let me ask you something. Where do you want to be in 5 years from now? Don't look at it in 10 years, 20 years. Not even look at it in 3 to 5 years. I want you to picture it. I'm talking about the big stuff, your career, your relationships, your health, your happiness, your development for yourself. What makes you feel empowered and fulfilled? What is filling up your glass? Who are you in the future? What do you feel when you wake up in the morning? I know that sounds heavy, but really stay with me for a second. I want you to imagine your life right now and visualize it, like seriously visualize it. Close your eyes if you can and picture where you're living. What are you doing? Who's around you? What does your idea look like? Your perfect day. What does that perfect ideal day look for you? Are you doing work that excites you? Are you surrounding yourself with people who make you feel alive and supportive and loved? What's the energy in that version of your life? I want you to visualize and picture that. The vision that that future is more important than any short-term fear or doubt you're feeling right now. You see, when we let distractions and anxiety cloud our decisions, you're essentially giving them the power to dictate your future. It's like I always tell my clients, it's that intruder coming into our mind, taking over of all the things that we worry and fear because they feed on that. So don't let that intruder or anybody dictate your future. It's like handing over the steering wheel to fear and letting it drive you off the road. That's the other thing I always say for my listeners. You'll always hear me say, you have control over the wheel. Every decision you make today, no matter how small, is like placing a brick on the path toward that future for you. When you're stuck in the indecision, it's like standing still and refusing to build that path for you. But if you're clear on your vision, on what really matters to you in the long run, every choice becomes easier because you're now where you want to be. You're starting, you're looking ahead. Now, here's the truth, everyone. Life is going to throw us distractions and challenges. That's part of the course, it's part of life. You'll have the moments of doubt. Fear will try to pull you away from your goals. But when you get strong with a clear vision, it will guide you to exactly where you want to be. It becomes easier to say, no, I'm not going to let the short term stress or indecision make my decision. I know where I'm headed. You're going to have the clarity. You're going to have the confidence in yourself that you are making the right choices that align with you. So let's talk about something else that probably is holding you back, and that is perfection. Trying to be perfect on all decisions because you worry that if you don't make the right decision, is you're going to harm yourself, your family, your loved ones, your coworkers, your organization, your employer. It goes on and on. You're waiting for the perfect option, but the one with no downside, right? Where everything will work out exactly how you want. But I can be real with you for just a second. Perfection is a myth. Nobody is perfect. I don't care how wealthy you are. I don't care how great you think you are, but perfection is a myth. We are phenomenal of what we do and our choices if we believe in our choices, if we believe in ourselves with confidence. So every choice has a trade off, every path has bumps, and that's okay. Life isn't about getting perfect. It's about making progress. If you're holding out for 100% certainty, you'll be waiting for a very, very, very long time. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to move forward, even when it's messy. Now, let's talk about something people tend to ignore: your gut feeling. When was the last time you trusted your intuition? Do you know how intuition is so powerful? That's that little voice inside of you that says, this feels right, or this isn't for me. And allow that gut feeling to help you make your decision. But maybe you've been trained to just push that voice and indecision of yourself, of the real and only logic facts that you have. Don't get me wrong. Logic is important, but sometimes you already know the answer. You just haven't trusted yourself, even to just listen to yourself. You're constantly getting validation from everybody. Don't get the validation. You can ask, but at the end of the day, don't have anybody else make that decision for you but you. And it is okay to have an open mind and to listen. Don't emotionally make a decision based off someone else's decision. Okay. So, right now, I want you to pause for a second. I want you to close your eyes. What does your gut tell you about the decision that you need to make, that you've been holding off on? I want you to trust it. Your intuition often knows the truth before your mind catches up. Did you know that? Your intuition is the first thing that is the decision that you should make outside of what your constant mindset is. Like what is your thought? Here's a little trick that will shift things for you. Set a deadline. Like actually give yourself a time limit. If you don't, you'll just sit there. You'll overthink everything and talk yourself out of it. You'll be spinning around like crazy. You'll be putting yourself on the back burner. You'll even just forget about it, right? I know we've all been there. I've been there. It's those what ifs, should have, right? So here's the deal. For some small decisions, give yourself 10 minutes. For the bigger ones, maybe give it a day, max a week. The point is to stop procrastinating by giving yourself permission to decide by a certain time. You can do that, right? I know you can. Commit to it. Deadlines create clarity. Here's another game changer for you. Do you know anything about the 70% rule? The idea is simple. Once you're 70% sure of your decision, I want you to go for it. Waiting for 100% certainty, it's a trap for you, the decision that you know you should have made. So let me ask you this. How often are you really 100% sure about everything? Not often, right? But the time you're 70% confident, you've got enough information to make your decision. The longer you wait, the less clarity you'll have. Now, I don't want you to mistake that something that you make is saying 100% that you won't be 100%. There's always some ifs in there. If you hit that 70% rule, I want you to go for it. Do you think you need the clarity before you take action? Reality is action. It creates clarity. If you're stuck in indecision, take one small step forward, just one. It could be as simple as making a phone call, reaching out for different options for yourself, or even writing down what isn't in your head. That tiny action is going to light the path ahead for you. Indecision loves inaction. So flip the script Guys, take action and watch how everything starts to make sense for you with clarity. And I want to leave you with this. You need to stop fearing mistakes. I know you're afraid of making the wrong choice, but what if I told you that there's no such thing? There's no such thing as wrong decisions. Even if something doesn't go the way you plan, it's still a step forward. It's progress. Mistakes are just another way to learn. We learn from mistakes. We learn from our challenges. It is not all negative. And sometimes they lead to opportunities you never saw coming. So stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Make the choice, take the leap, and know that you're going to grow no matter what. You get to make the choice. That's in itself for yourself. You have the power. Okay, I have an empowerment mission for you. Focus on what really matters to you. Stop waiting for perfection. It's progress that counts. Trust your gut. It's there for a reason. Set a deadline and don't drag things out. Stop the procrastination. Use the 70% rule to take action before you're 100% sure. And remember, no decision is final. You'll learn, grow, and keep moving forward. You got this. I believe in you. And it's time for you to believe in yourself. Go out there, make the decision. You already know the answer. You just need to give yourself permission to act. Thanks for spending time with me today. And I so appreciate all of my listeners. Until next time, I want you to keep moving forward, one decision at a time. And remember, you have control over the will. With gratitude, Nancy. Thank you for listening to my podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a rating and review, and share it with a friend. To connect with me and get all the behind the scenes content, you can follow me on Instagram at EmpowerWithNancy and visit my website, empowerwithnancy.com, to learn more about how coaching with me can significantly enhance your life and business. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day. See you next time.